The name Cephas might not be instantly familiar to everyone, but when you realize that Cephas is also known as Peter, one of the most prominent apostles of Jesus, the importance becomes clear. Cephas, originally named Simon, was a fisherman by trade. He was living in Bethsaida, a town near the Sea of Galilee, when he first encountered Jesus. Jesus called Simon and his brother Andrew to follow him, saying that he would make them fishers of men. This was the beginning of Simon's transformation. The Lord saw something in Simon that others did not. He saw a man who, despite his flaws, would become a leader and a cornerstone of the early Christian community. What makes Cephas stand out is not just his role as an apostle, but how his relationship with Jesus evolved. When Jesus first met Simon, he gave him the name Cephas, which is Aramaic for rock. This was a prophetic act, signaling the critical role Simon would play. Jesus didn't choose Cephas because he was perfect. Far from it. Cephas was impulsive, sometimes fearful, and he even denied knowing Jesus 3 times during the most critical moment of Jesus' life. But what's amazing is how God worked through Cephas despite these weaknesses. It's a powerful reminder that God doesn't require perfection. He seeks a willing heart that he can mold and use for his purposes. Cephas's transformation from a simple fisherman to a pillar of the church is something every believer can relate to. How does this transformation happen? It begins with an encounter with Jesus. Just as Cephas was called by Jesus while he was going about his daily work, God can call anyone at any time. The key is to respond with an open heart, just as Cephas did. He left everything behind, his boat, his nets, his livelihood, to follow Jesus. This decision set the stage for everything that would follow. Cephas was present at many of the key events in Jesus' ministry. He witnessed the Transfiguration, where Jesus revealed his glory on the mountain. He walked on water, albeit briefly, when Jesus called him out of the boat. He was also the first to confess Jesus as the Messiah, saying, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." This confession is significant because it shows that Cephas, despite his human frailty, recognized the truth of who Jesus was. In response to this confession, Jesus declared that on this rock he would build his church, and the gates of hell would not prevail against it. However, Cephas's journey was not without its challenges. His most notable failure came during Jesus' arrest and trial. When asked if he was a follower of Jesus, Cephas denied knowing him 3 times. This was a moment of great weakness, and it could have marked the end of Cephas' story. But after Jesus' resurrection, something amazing happened. Jesus sought out Cephas and reinstated him. He asked Cephas 3 times, "Do you love me?" And each time Cephas affirmed his love, Jesus gave him a command, "Feed my sheep." This was a clear indication that Jesus had not given up on Cephas. Instead, he was restoring him to his position of leadership, showing that God's forgiveness and grace are always available, even after failure. Where did Cephas' journey take him after Jesus' ascension? Cephas became a leading figure in the early church, especially in Jerusalem. He was instrumental in spreading the message of Jesus, both to Jews and Gentiles. He played a key role in the Council of Jerusalem, where it was decided that Gentile converts did not need to follow the traditional Jewish laws to be part of the church. This decision was pivotal in the spread of Christianity beyond the Jewish community. Cephas' story is also a story of hope. It shows that God can use anyone, no matter their past mistakes or shortcomings, for his amazing purposes. Cephas was a flawed man, but he was also a man who was transformed by his relationship with Jesus.